Yeah, we clocked in. Hey, what's going on, party people? Now, if this is your first time here, welcome. It's definitely a pleasure to have you here. I go by the name of L'Esprit. I am a spiritual healer, so welcome. So, as a spiritual healer, technically what I do is that I help people to become mentally and emotionally balanced. Now, when I'm talking about being emotionally balanced, it's, how can I say, contrary to the popular belief, in terms of I'm not talking about being polite or controlling your emotions. Now, to a certain degree, I would say yes and more. So it's not just that. To control your emotion, it's a little more than that. So we're talking about mastering your emotions. So we're talking about understanding how your emotions are being created to identify your emotional pattern, but most importantly, you know, um, to remove any type of emotional blockages that you may have. So when you're doing that, see, that's why I was saying it's more than controlling your emotions. It's beyond. It's more than just being polite. You know what I'm saying? And fuck around. I mean, you may not be even it. You might be. There's a difference. You could become. You could be deceptive but not polite. Do you see what I'm saying? But anyway, to get back to what I was saying, referring to become emotionally balanced, it's more than just acting a certain way or not to raise your voice. Now we're really talking about to truly understand how your emotions work. For you to become, not to be triggered by, something. Now it's different. That's what passion is. When we choose to involve our fucking emotions in it. Oh, it's lovely. Do you see what I'm saying? Like I could say fuck you, you know. It's it's all good. So it's to not be limited or controlled by your emotion, but most importantly, to master anything, it means to for you to make it yours. So to be emotionally balanced is simply referring, or I'm helping you to make your emotion your shit. That's your shit. That's part of your regular routine. You master it. But you have to understand how it's being created and everything. So technically, I help you with that. So I wanted to pretty much emphasize or clarify, what I mean by being emotionally balanced. Now, being mentally balanced, I guess to a certain extent, the same shit could applies. But what I'm truly talking about is for you to understand pretty much how your mind is being shaped, how you being controlled. Do you see what I'm saying? How do you work? But for you to understand that, that's why we say spirituality is your regular life. Although I will be talking about that in just a little bit. But, as for you to understand, like, your thinking, your thoughts, how is that being, I mean, how do you, if you, for you to master your mind, meaning, you can't be controlled by somebody else. So you have to understand, how am I being influenced? Is this my full thoughts? It is me. Is it me? Well, you don't even have to question it when you make it you. And that's what mastering is. You make it yours. But you got to understand, that's why, in so many words, like I was saying, your humanity and your spirituality, because now you have to understand culture. You were born American. So such and such. Do you see what I'm saying? Different things. How is it, how is it shaping your life, your thinking? Because when we talking about spirituality, it's all mental. Again, this is your true nature. Not to jump the gun here, but when we talking about the occult, that's what the occult does. It helps you to have a better understanding of this reality. But anyway, I'll be talking about that. But in so many words, I'm just saying, to be mentally balanced is beyond. You know what I'm saying? Acting a certain way or behaving a certain way, or maybe I went to school. I mean, all of that could, of course. I mean, it shapes it. You got to understand how does that shape you, and you for you to become the master of that. So that's why for me, when I talk about spirituality, I don't dissociate it from this life because you'll open up your third eye, your chakras, everything you'll be doing. It's relatively has to do with this life. The work you got to do. The people you need to forgive. How do you grow? How do you change? That's why the words got to be made flesh. That type of knowledge is for you to apply it in your regular basis. Then you become that living mind. That's why knowing the truth now sets you free. It pretty much sets you free from what? From, damn, not being limited to, let's just say, outside circumstances. That's why we call this world Maya, a world of illusion. And that's what people are telling you, not to let your circumstances limit you. You got to push further. What, however the fuck that those motivational speaking. They're just telling you. I mean, I know they're calling it trying to get you to be motivated, but at the same time, they're making you a better you. This is all spiritual. You know what I'm saying? It's being done in different degrees, but it's all mental. That's why I always tell people everybody's doing God's work. Because ultimately, regardless on how stupid somebody may sound to you, but their idea, in some shape and form, is to help other people. Of course, you have motherfuckers that's gonna take advantage. I mean, you're always gonna have that. You're scammers. Call these motherfuckers scammers. Okay? You're gonna have your scammers. They forging documentation. You're gonna have that. That's it comes with it. Do you see what I'm saying? So how do you deal with that? This is all spiritual. The first mistake you made, you went for the money. you couldn't see the reality. So, you need to work on your vision. Yeah, looking shit right. But anyway, guys, you know what I'm saying? I talk my shit. Basically, I'm just a spiritual healer. Of course, we talk about spirituality, obviously, my way, but most importantly, what I'm trying to emphasize is the connection in everything. I mean, the fucking laughing, like the everything. So once you understand that, in so many words, we talk about becoming the living mind because our reality is very complex. In fact, that's why the occult now steps in to pretty much, gives us some clarification. That's what those sacred texts are all pretty much all about. That's what they helping us because they understand things. It's not what it seems. That's what makes it a fucking illusion. It's not what it looks like. So here's the code.